I like the honesty of the lyrics. You know, the honesty of the lyrics. Like I think the older guys, if they're singing about their alcoholism, is their version of honest gruffness, and this guy's doing it in an updated way, singing about his thing with meth, right?
Yeah, yeah, and
Maybe the old songs about booze they were more proud of it than you can be about meth. But yeah, other than that.
well, I remember one time back, when I was playing with a guitarist, singer songwriter, and we were kind of doing the duet thing, and we were hitting some open mics just to kind of get out in front of audiences and work on our thing, and I was in Hollywood, and some guy. And what was great about these open mics is, again, everybody reveals who they are within seconds. And sometimes it's tragic and horrible and sad, or sometimes it's awful but beautiful because you see some girl getting up there it's taken every ounce of strength she has and her soul to get up and play in front of people. So I always found it fascinating. And one guy gets up and he's got the leather jacket and the dark glasses, and he starts singing, I was in the Badlands. I had six bullets to the gut, kind of. And I was like, this is the most phony crap I've ever heard in my life. It was like, come on, sing what you know about going to the mall, So
yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, but
some of the new Americana is not as sincere as like the band was.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So,
But how about this kind? I mean, how many of the other players had problems with cocaine? They're not singing about that.
well,
Right? That's something that's in the business, and right.
well, Glenn Campbell, there's an example.
But also, how about meth or cocaine or crack? Maybe not the worst drug if you want to play really fast music and stay up all night playing fiddling like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I guess we can say at this point, Vassar Clements really liked his speed. But I think in bluegrass, you kind of leave that in the private zone.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even though we all kind of know it now.
And but again, like we said, there's that George Jones thing, and some of those Tonight the Bottle Let Me Down, those Drink Up and Go Home, those old classic songs.
Yeah.
But
those are great songs.
Right. But I thought, one of the things I think people responded to with Billy Strings is he's just got a effervescent personality, just super high energy and warm and playing homage to the old guys and just brings that. He's got a star energy. That's just he's got that thing.
Yeah.
And that's a big reason he's popular. But he also he's got the chops to hang in and play with whom.
It struck me in watching videos of him that a lot of the guys seem so like it's so easy for them to play this hard music. And with him, it looks like you see his face really working, and it seems like he has to work to get it on that level, where the other guys, I got this super easy.
I think he might be selling it
Oh,
just
yeah?
a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet he could do it without the contortions. But,
Contortions.
but like you said, Ethan, he's appealing to his age group too. They see him, they go, man, if I just practice the rest of the week, I could do that, even though it's not a bit true.
Yeah.
It's good energy, and good picking. And I hear a lot of Tony phrases in there, and plus the electric sound a little bit, the pickup deal. So you don't hear that acoustic, where you get that almost like a marimba or like Oscar Peterson attack. It's a little more, I can't describe it, like a pickup under the bridge kind of sound.
But he's also.
So it might be.
Good.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that he has that attack, that driving bluegrass thing that's just kind of electrifying for an audience. To see him just dig in and rip a solo.
He doesn't drag. In fact, through that guitar solo, when you come out the back end of it, they have sped up.
Right.
Usually it's the other way around. So he's got the energy.
Well, another young guy who can smoke on that fretboard is Trey Hensley. And Trey Hensley is also kind of a child prodigy,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
I don't know a lot about him. I've been in a few sessions with him, and he's phenomenal, like incredible.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah,
And he kind of, to me, we'll listen to the cut, which is kind of a more expansive, kind of interesting song here. But I hear a lot of country, in his singing and in his approach to the bluegrass. There's a country flavor that he brings, and a blues. Obviously, he's deep.
absolutely. I know he's a Merle Haggard lover,
Right.
And, and the country licks, and even then he bends strings a little more than typical bluegrass.
That's
guy.
the bluesy thing.
But but I don't think he has light strings on. I think he's working it. It's like fence wire.
He'd break any of those light strings. Yeah.
So a lot of different influences, I think, on him.
Yeah, and he, has developed a partnership with one of my favorite musicians, another dobro player who's kind of the heir to Jerry Douglas's throne, Rob Ickes.
Yep.
And have you played with Rob? I bet you have.
Oh yeah, Rob's from the Bay Area, and I knew him when he was real young. Probably the first thing he would have recorded was on one of those really early Tony Furtado records, and they had me on that stuff.
Oh yeah,
and,
right.
So I knew Rob before he moved to Nashville, and I mean that's quite a while ago now, and I think he was pretty young.
Yeah, and he brings. He has his own personality too. He's really distinct from Jerry Douglas, and his jazz album, what it is, great album, and where he really is showing off his soul and kind of blues jazz kind of flavor that he brings to it. That's real different, and he's just he's an incredible player too, and tasty and everything. So their marriage there is kind of cool. So we're going to listen to a song. Which one do we got for them? It's The Fatal Shore.